Hey guys, welcome to today's episode, and we have Stef Freeman here. Our title today, I'm so excited about. It's going to be how to put autoimmune conditions into remission without medication. And it's something that's so near and dear to my heart because, as you guys know, I do have thyroid issues, I have autoimmune issues, and we are going to be talking about low dose naltrexone, and it really is a modern day wonder drug. So I'm super excited. So welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Tell us about your autoimmune issues and what got you passionate about autoimmune and thyroid issues.
Sure. So I've had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis since I was 3. I will be 60 in 2 weeks. And then about 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto, psoriatic arthritis, and celiac. And I come from a family of Western medicine. What's wrong? Give me a pill. What's wrong? Give me a pill. And something intuitively just said that is not how I want to live the rest of my life. So I connected with a naturopathic doctor who, for the first time, drew my blood and did my CRP, my cardiac reactive protein level, which is the inflammation level in your blood. I'd never heard of it. And he said, yours is very high. And I said, okay, what does that mean? And he said, cancer, diabetes, heart disease. And I was like, oh, okay, what do I do? He handed me a pamphlet, and this was April 30th, 2013, handed me a pamphlet that said anti-inflammatory diet, vitamin D and magnesium. I went home and I studied all night what it meant to live an anti-inflammatory life. And on May 1st, 2013, I gave up gluten, refined sugar, dairy, soy, and seed oils. And I've not looked back. And that was amazing, right? Like my life changed. I lost 40 pounds. I wasn't in pain. I wasn't reaching for a leave in the morning. And I felt amazing. But we ebb and flow. So then I went through menopause, and even though I was eating the same way and I had eradicated all of my symptoms, joint pain, low energy, no sleep, hormone issues, you go through menopause and it's a whole new set of things. So my knee had given out about a year and a half ago, and I was told I needed a knee replacement. And I found a pain management clinic in Virginia Beach, and I started on some peptides, BPC 157. I had a PRP shot, and I was told about this amazing thing called low dose naltrexone. And the PA said to me, have you heard about it? And I said, oh, I don't take medication. She said, well, the only side effect is vivid dreams. And I said, I have vivid dreams anyway. And she explained to me that low dose naltrexone was given in super high doses to people back in the 80s that were addicts and drug overdoses and, alcoholics. And it really helped with the brain. And she said they found in low doses, where you start at 1 milligram and only titrate up to 4.5 milligrams, that it helps specifically with Hashimoto's and thyroid issues. So I went home, I did my research. I said, sure, I'll try it. And wow, game changer.
The biggest thing that people need to realize is that conventional Western medicine, or also people call it allopathic medicine,
Yep.
it focuses on diagnosing and treating specific diseases with drugs, surgery, radiation, and instead of functional or integrative or naturopathic medicine,
Right.
that views the body as interconnected and seeking root causes through lifestyle, nutrition, stress management. And so if you're listening to this podcast, I am all about the functional integrative medicine type. And so that's why we have guests that believe in this kind of, getting down to the root cause. Because it's like all these people, it's funny because I hadn't taken Tylenol or any kind of, even a leave. Like if I have a headache, I just won't do it. I had some joint pain and I literally took it for the first time. I think it had been a year. I couldn't remember if it was like a year or two, but I know that I had not taken it. I think it was about a year or two. I couldn't even, that's how long it's been since I've taken it. I want to talk about, kind of explain how the thing about low dose naltrexone It's one of these drugs that I believe it's a functional medicine drug. It is
100%.
not a Western medicine drug. So talk a little bit about what it was made for and, what naltrexone actually, until not the low dose, but what
Right.
naltrexone was made for and what you've seen different people use LDN or low dose naltrexone for.
So originally, it was really for people that had an issue with drugs, maybe alcohol. It kind of quieted that noise in the brain. But what I see, because I'm a certified holistic health coach, which I went on that journey after healing myself. I was like, this is easy. I just have to eat the right foods and take the right supplements, take LDN, and I can exercise with no pain. I'm in no pain. I wanted to scream it from the rooftops and I wanted to let everybody know, like, you can do this and I can help you. So I have patients with all different ailments, all different autoimmune diseases. So although originally they found that it's great for Hashimoto's, any sort of inflammation, it works wonders on. And yes, originally it was called naltrexone. Now it's low dose naltrexone because you don't go over 4.5 milligrams and you can take it forever. And
Mm.
to be on something that, when I was really not feeling well in my early 40s and my rheumatologist said you need to go on a biologic injectable drug, those side effects are scary. So when I could do this, which I consider like a supplement, right? And have vivid dreams, which I had anyway, it was not a big deal. And it helps so many of my patients are on it and they find so much relief.
And actually, for low dose naltrexone, it's really unique because it's the only drug that would be an interaction that would be negatively affected would be like morphine, hydrocodone,
Right.
Vicodin. So, like, you can't take
Correct.
low dose naltrexone if you're going to be taking morphine,
Yeah.
hydrocodone or Vicodin or
Which
something like
makes
that.
total sense. Well, now why naltrexone was given to people that were addicted to things like that, right? It would stop them from taking it. So yes,
Yes.
100%.
I want to share with the audience my how I affected with the low dose naltrexone. They say that 4.5 milligrams is actually what is a low dose of it. I
Hmm.
tried it. I took it. I actually threw up for 3 hours. And then, I told, my functional medicine doctor at the time, she's like, that doesn't sound right, Chantel. You probably were just already sick. So don't even worry about it. Try it again. So I took it again. And then I threw up again for 3 hours. But here's the thing about me. I am so vanilla that, like I said, I mean, I hadn't taken Tylenol in 2 years, right? I didn't
Right.
take any kind of thing. So I am so sensitive to anything. So for me, I just started taking it again and I did 0.5 milligrams. So like the lowest dose you can actually get is 4.5 milligrams. I'm right now taking once a day 0.5 milligrams, which is like kind of the lowest that
Right.
you can get. But that, if you're like me, and you're very vanilla and you don't take it, that is an alternative that you do need to consider.
Correct. So I started at 1.0,
Okay.
and I titrated up to 4.5. But because I have to research everything, I have to know everything that's going in my body. Like it took me a long time to get to 4.5, like maybe 6, 7 months. And then once I got there, I was fine. But I'm the same as you. I'm very sensitive. So you just need to start really slow and then you'll get there. And maybe you won't get there, but maybe like 0.5 is good for you, or maybe it's good for a year, and then next year you bump up to 1.0. That's the beauty about it. It's not a one size fits all because we're not all the same people.
Yeah. And one of the things that I want to kind of mention is a lot of times when people have joint issues, they're subscribed prednisone, which
Hmm.
prednisone or steroids actually suppresses the immune system. It holds it down and
Right.
it causes dysfunction with electrolytes. And so when you have, like, I know someone who's currently on had to take some steroids for something, and they were getting leg cramps and everything else. And I said, you know why? Because steroids actually causes dysfunction with electrolytes, which is a big deal. So for whatever you can, do not get on prednisone or steroids if you can help it, because in my opinion, it just causes things to get worse.
Similar to if you're having like joint pain, right? Knee pain. Of course, an orthopedist wants to do a knee replacement, and then other doctors want to give you a steroid shot. Well, that is actually going to damage things in your knee. So you do, I agree with you. You want to stay away from steroids as much as you can. So what I did with my knee, when my knee gave out last year, I did a peptide called BPC 157 and then PRP, which is where they take your blood and they spin it and they inject it into the joint, and it helps rejuvenate the cartilage, as opposed to putting something in there that you might get relief, but it's not helping you heal, right? Our bodies know how to heal. We just need to give it the chance.
And I know several people that have thyroid disorders like Hashimoto's that started on, because again, that 4.5 milligrams on a daily basis is too much for that patient group.
Yeah.
And with Hashimoto's, you starting people at that 0.5 milligrams or even the 0.1 milligrams is a really good way to go. And I've seen people completely get off of all thyroid medication by doing this LDN, and it's so much better for them.
Absolutely. And I fortunately, by the time I was diagnosed, I had already been gluten and dairy free, and all the frees. So I never went on any medication. That's the other thing, that with autoimmune, the LDN is amazing, but it's also the other things that we're doing to support our bodies. And my primary care doctor is a functional medicine doctor. And when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, the two no's for Hashimoto's are gluten and dairy. So if you can add that in, and I help people come up with meal plans, figure out what to eat, because giving up gluten and dairy is not, people are overwhelmed, right? But it's not that hard when you break it down.
Have you ever asked, God, are you speaking? God, are you speaking?
What on earth am I here for?
In a world full of noise, opinions, and distractions, He's been trying to reach you. In Tune In, God's Voice, Your Purpose, it answers these questions. Hear God, find freedom, discover your purpose, make a difference. You'll finally learn how to know the difference between God's whisper and your own inner noise, how to reinvent yourself with every new season, and how to answer the question every person asks at some point. What on earth am I here for? What on earth am I here for? If you're ready for clarity, direction, and breakthrough, this book is your guide. Quiet the chaos. Hear Him clearly. Step boldly into your calling. Tune in. God's Voice, Your Purpose.
Yeah. And if you have alternatives that you love, then you don't feel deprived, because it's kind of like that cycle. Once you feel deprived, then you start to binge and go, screw it, I'm not going to live this way. But if they can have some alternatives that taste just as good,
Right.
now they're not deprived.
Well, I say to people, it's an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, not a diet. Why would you go on something that begins with the word die, right?
Right.
We want to do a lifestyle change. And yeah, if you like chocolate chip cookies, it's pretty easy. Use gluten-free flour, coconut sugar. Like, you can make anything healthy.
That's so good. So let's talk about for you where you're at on it. Are you staying on the 1 milligram at this point? Like you said, you started with 0.5, then you titrated up to 1. Are you staying out on 1, or do you take it in the morning? Do you take it at night?
I titrated up to 4.5.
Okay, so
I'm
you
on
are at
4.5. Yep,
4.5.
I'm at the max. I take it every night before bed, and I don't see myself ever going off it.
And it's just like, to me, because it's the only drug that I've seen that has no side effects once you titrate up. Like I
Right.
said, for me, my body didn't tolerate it at that higher dose.
Right.
But I think that that is a really good thing. And so for you, have you ever thought about titrating down, or you feel great on this, so
No.
why mess with it? Is that kind of
Exactly.
where you're at?
Yep, I feel great. I've been doing, so of course, exercise is a huge thing, right? And so it has allowed me, between that and some other supplements I'm taking, I did a one leg squat in Pilates the other day. I mean, I couldn't even walk when I was in, because I was diagnosed so young. Like when I was in middle school, I missed 45 days of school. Like I never learned how to ride a bike. I couldn't walk. I mean, life was tough. This, between the nutrition and the LDN, game changer. Like I'm living my life. So no, I don't think I would titrate down.
What other things have you seen people with for LDN that have helped heal their body that you've maybe suggested it for?
Definitely autoimmune, gut issues, and any sort of inflammation. So I work at a medical facility in Virginia Beach called Reboot. We're integrative care, and I'm the health coach. And I have a lot of people with gut health. And when you look at their labs, they're, like I had said, the CRP, cardiac reactive protein, is one marker for inflammation. When those are high, anybody that has inflammation, a lot of people aren't diagnosed with anything. So any sort of inflammation, and people go on it, and after a week, they feel better.
Talk about supplements, of what supplements you're taking daily and kind of the list of the things that you feel like are the game changers for you.
Sure. So, supplements are personal. Obviously, it's super important to have your blood work and know, like, what is your vitamin D level? What is your B12? All the levels, your K2. So I personally have the MTHFR gene, which my body doesn't detoxify. So I need to help it. I can't methylate, so I can't take a regular B. I take a methylated B, so then my body can process it. So I take that. I take vitamin D.
If you've been searching for a doctor who actually listens and can meet with you over Zoom anywhere in all 50 states, I want to share something helpful. If you're looking for someone who can prescribe low dose naltrexone, talk through your health questions, and actually take the time to understand what's going on, we have partnered with physicians that can meet with you virtually no matter where you live, who focus on personalized root cause care, not just rushed appointments. So if you're interested in low dose naltrexone, or if you're just looking for a functional medicine doctor, go to chantelrayway.com/doctor and get the link, and we'll get you connected. Talk about that for just a little for those people, and I'm very familiar with that gene, and I have the exact one as well. But talk a little bit about, in a detail, of why your body doesn't process it, and then what you think as far as the methylated B versus non-methylated.
Usually you have the gene because you get it from your mom and your dad. I have two different, they're called comp SNPs. And so normally our bodies will do what we call phase 1, phase 2 detoxification, right? You eat something that's non-organic and it's sprayed with Roundup or whatever, your body, if you don't have the MTHFR gene, your body just flushes it out. It knows how to automatically detoxify. Well, when you have the MTHFR gene, it doesn't. So sometimes you have to take supplements to help flush it out. So I had genetic testing done, which told me that I have the MTHFR gene. My body doesn't process turmeric. My body doesn't process estrogen. So I have to be really careful. Like I don't eat soy because it's an estrogen mimicker. I only took the pill for 1 year, so that wasn't an issue.
So do you not take turmeric at all?
No, I can't take turmeric because my body can't flush it out.
Besides taking that test, would they be able to kind of see, like, okay, when I take, like, can you tell, like, if you take a turmeric shot?
Never taken it. It's very interesting, and it must have been something intuitive in me. I would go to Whole Foods and stand in front of the aisle where they had turmeric pills and the liquid and everything, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, and walk away. So I've never taken it, so I can't tell you what it would do. But I did 23andMe, and my results were run through a medical algorithm. That's how I figured it out. But it's a simple blood test, and 50% of people have the MTHFR gene. It can inhibit people from getting pregnant. It causes all sort of health issues if you're taking regular B vitamins with folate that you can't methylate. Can cause all different kinds of diseases and illnesses. So I recommend to all my patients just get tested, just see if you have it.
Am I hearing you correctly when you say, if you have the MTHFR gene, anyone who has that should not be taking the turmeric shots? Or
nope, that's just specific to me. The turmeric is specific to me.
So how did you find out that you?
So I did 23andMe, and then my functional doctor ran all my results through what she calls a medical algorithm. And it tells you, like, I can't process turmeric, I can't process estrogen, I can't process alcohol. So those are specific to me. People can do either Ancestry or 23andMe and have it run through a medical algorithm to see what's going on, or they can just take a blood test. Not everybody that has MTHFR can't process turmeric. That's specific to me.
Have you ever tried like to go in and like if you went to one of those wellness places and got like a regular B12 shot and a regular B shot, you would feel terrible.
Terrible. Yes. I won't do it because I know the ramifications. So I don't do it.
What else can you not do because of the MTFHR?
It's really to do with methylation because I know that my body doesn't naturally do detox. I do a detox a couple times a year and nothing crazy, like it's not a juice cleanse or anything. It's just taking certain supplements that helps me just flush things out. So let's say somebody was on the pill and they can't flush out estrogen. There are supplements that can help. So there are supplements to take that can help you do the phase 1, phase 2 detoxification that your body can't naturally do by itself.
Talk to me about saunas. Do you do the sauna? Because you have that and you don't have a good way of detoxing, do you do the saunas, or what else do you do to help your body to detoxify?
Sure. I don't do saunas regularly just because, I'm a health coach. I'm a real estate agent. I'm busy. But I'm looking into getting a sauna or a red light. I think they're great. I do red light therapy when I go to my chiropractor, who's my functional doc. I do acupuncture. I go to a different chiropractor who works on my vagus nerve and my central nervous system to keep that fluid and clear. I take a specific omega-3 that has been a game changer for me in the last couple of months. I take, specific supplements to me. Never eat gluten, ever. Very limited dairy. I can do lactose-free yogurt, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Haven't had white sugar in 13 years. I'll eat organic edamame. That's it for soy, and never seed oils. I rarely eat out unless I know that they use olive oil or avocado oil or something healthy. I'm very regimented.
So let me tell you something funny. So I went and took for a while, this was a while ago, I took some B12 shots and some B like vitamins from like, one of those wellness places in town.
Yes.
And every time I did, my husband, I would come back and he was like, you are being a witch. And he's like, every time you go to that place and get that B12 shot and the B6 shot, he's like, you come back and he's like, my sweet wife turned into a witch. He's like, what happened? He's like, you're not allowed to go back there again. So he stopped doing it. And then I found out about this whole, I started looking into why am I not being nice after I take this B12 shot and then all of a sudden, because I already knew that I had the MTHFR.
Right.
And then I was like, oh,
that's why.
This is why, because my body my body is, I guess, going into panic mode because of it. And then I immediately stopped taking it. He's like, yay, my wife is back.
Yeah. It's
Isn't
crazy.
That wild?
It's wild. It's crazy. And I wish that Western medicine would catch up to Eastern medicine, because a lot of times I talked to a rheumatologist and I said to him, I understand some people need medication, but like, what if you started with nutrition? And he was like, I don't learn about that in school. I said, well, that's why there are people like me. Send them my way because I can help them with the nutrition portion. And even if people do need to be on medication, because there is a place for Western medication. Some people need to have it for certain things, but eating an anti-inflammatory lifestyle is never a bad thing for anybody.
I want to kind of just expand a little bit more on this methylation because I think that it's something that's so under talked about, and I'll just kind of start the conversation.
Sure.
And then I want you to kind of finish it. But for those of you who've never heard the word methylation, it's actually a biochemical process that it turns your vital functions on and off and helping your body with detoxification, like getting rid of toxins and heavy metals, which I don't care who you are, you have toxins and heavy metals. It's into energy production, which basically converts your food into fuel, because just because you're eating food, your body has to then turn it into fuel. Brain function, right? And then also your immune support. So if people are struggling with chronic fatigue or low energy or brain fog, then it could be because of this MTHFR mutation, or just lack of key nutrients that they're getting. So kind of expand on that a little bit more.
Right. So if you're like what happened to you with taking the wrong vitamin Bs, you became witchy because your body was rebelling. Like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. So, like I said, I think people need to just get the test and find out if they have it. And then it's just a simple switching your vitamin Bs.
Yeah.
To
So
one.
instead, you're now taking methylfolate
Yep.
B9 or whatever
Yep.
whatever you're taking. Talk about what B vitamins you're actually taking.
So right now I actually only take a B12 that's methylated that I can handle, and that is fine. And your B vitamins are connected to with your homocysteine level, which is also another indication of inflammation. This MTHFR, it's very important to know if you have it so that you know you're on the right supplements, so that you know that your supplements are working, and it will help with, bottom line, it helps with inflammation. The other thing is, and I mentioned before, this essential fatty acid that I'm taking. When we take essential fatty acids in the United States, most of them go rancid before they get into our cells. And so you need three things to live: water, air, and essential fatty acids. So the ones that I've been taking from Scandinavia, they mix with a polyphenol, which is olive oil, which not only gets into your system, but it gives your cells permeability, which allows your other supplements to get into your cells, as well as nutrition. So some people can take supplements, and if they have the MTHFR and they're not taking the right ones, or they don't have cell permeability, they're peeing their supplements out.
Synthetic vitamins can make you in such a bad place. It's not even funny. Let's talk about glutathione or NAD for cellular energy and repair. Have you had any good experience with either one of those that you're helping people with?
Yep. So NAD is kind of the precursor to glutathione. And because of all of my autoimmunes kind of live in the liver. You want to cleanse your liver. So I take glutathione. I take a really good one. People have a hard time with glutathione because it tastes nasty, but I take one, the brand is Apex. It just kind of tastes like pineapple. So I just put it in a little syringe and I take it until the bottle's gone. And then I take a couple months off and then I take it again. I maybe take it like 3 times during the year, and it cleanses. It's one of the heaviest antioxidants. It cleanses your liver. So especially with somebody with MTHFR, it can't be perfect. You might have some, issues with cleansing. The glutathione will really help.
I actually take the NAD and glutathione both in shot form, just because for me, it's just a weekly shot. I go into, a healthy place that I know it's good quality, and then I just take a quick shot of both of those. Well, awesome. Anything else that you've been doing that has really helped your body kind of heal from this autoimmune condition and your thyroid issue as well?
Habits. Getting into a routine. My house could look like, and sometimes it does, a bomb went off on it, but my food, my refrigerator, my supplements, how I exercise is pristine. I get up in the morning and I move my body, whether it's 15 minutes on the Peloton, I hop on my vibration plate, I work. Then after work, it's either lifting weights, going to Pilates, taking a walk. I move my body twice a day, every single day. And I know before I get up what breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner is. Always have my water bottle. And I'm just very regimented. And once you get into it, like the more I exercise, the more I want to exercise. It's not, oh, I want to go back to sleep for 15 more minutes. It's like, I can't wait because I know how good I'm going to feel. And I've written a couple books. And in one of my books, my quote is, healthy feels better than food tastes.
So
and
good.
And feeling good when I felt awful for 40 something years. I had mono besides the autoimmune. I had a hard time getting pregnant. I just never felt good. So it is like a drug almost, right? Like feeling good is so addicting. And, and I have tons of patients and I just, I lay it all out. I give them a list of brands. I tell them how to eat anti-inflammatory. I had one woman come in last week. She's like, I've lost 35 pounds doing exactly what you tell me. I will never eat how I used to eat. I feel so good. And that's really what it's about. When our bodies know how to heal, we just got to give them the chance.
Oh, wow. Well, this has been amazing. I love hanging out with people who are just so passionate about functional medicine. And I feel like you have been pouring into people's lives through functional medicine and you have turned your pain into your purpose. And I just love seeing people do that. And your work truly does change lives. So I'd love for you to share with people how they can get in touch with you, like what your social handles are or where they can get a hold of you and find you.
Absolutely. So first off, I am Stephanie with an F. So Stefanie. On Facebook, I'm Stephanie Foster Freeman, Freeman. On Instagram, it's Stef Freeman Realtor. And my email is Steph, Stef, at StefFreeman.com.
And we will put all of this in the show notes as well. Steph, thanks for spending time with us. And yeah, it was awesome. And you guys stay tuned. We've got another episode coming up in just a few. Bye-bye for now.